Hello everyone, welcome back for another video. So many of you guys asked for a part 2 to the discernment series. If you didn't already see that one, please go and watch it. But this one is going to be just as important. Girl to woman, shit that I learned so that you don't have to. Today's part 2 is going to be becoming the woman that your younger self would have needed. It's really building up that discernment, building up courage, building up that knowledge and wisdom so that you don't get played or you don't get, the shit end of the stick in life. I am going to be talking about so many different subjects today, and I hope that you guys grab something from this like you did in the last video. I also want to provide a trigger warning that we're going to be talking about some heavy topics. So if you guys are easily triggered by essay or anything in that realm, please either do not watch or watch cautiously. Please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below, and also follow me on Instagram. I am growing over there. Thank you so much for 600K, by the way. I have never been more excited to hit a number than when I hit 600K. I feel so appreciative and grateful for all of you, and I appreciate you guys sitting here and watching me discuss certain topics in such detail and enjoying them. So I love you guys so much. Now let's get into the topic. Similarly to the last video, we're just gonna be all over the place. So we're gonna go into the first subject that I wrote down, which was don't date men who, when you're on a date, they don't celebrate you. And I'm gonna give you guys a little story time. So there's two types of men out there that you can date. You can date the guy who looks at you as princess queen. He's like, look at my girl, look at my girl, look at my girl. And then there's the guy who gets angry when you're being celebrated or complimented or even just having attention being paid to you. So I was on a date with this guy, and I noticed that he was getting very visibly upset whenever somebody would compliment me. So we were actually walking from one location to another because the town that we were having the date in was kind of like a walking town, and we were at one spot, we were going to another spot. And on the street, because of how beautiful I looked that day, which I'm going to give myself credit, I looked really freaking good. My dress was so tight. I looked amazing. The heels I was wearing was beautiful. My makeup and hair was chef's kiss. And we were passing some young 20s, young 30s people as we were walking to the other destination. And as we were walking, I was being complimented by multiple people. So a girl would stop me and be like, oh my God, girl, you look incredible. Then another person would stop me, say the same thing. And I was just being my usual self, like, oh my God, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I kept noticing when I would peep over at him for like a split second that he was getting very irate and irritated that people were saying such nice things to me. I think partially because he thought that he could humble me. So I guess he wanted to be the prize. So by being the prize, it's, oh, look at me. I'm the one that's center of attention. And you're just like, my little shoulder piece. And then I felt another part of him really just doesn't like when attention is not being paid to him. So when the attention is on someone else, it bothers him. Stay away from people like this. It is so important that we notice and pick up on little tiny things. It wasn't like he said anything to me like, oh my God, you're so annoying or whatever, but he had made a comment that kind of was like annoying to me. He was like, oh, I wonder how many more people are gonna stop you before we get to the restaurant. And I'm like, okay. And I could just tell he was just irate and bothered by the fact that I was being complimented. So again, just watch out for people like that. I want to just kind of pivot into our own personal experiences. So let's talk about trauma and how to use it as your superpower. So something that I wish that I had told to me when I was really young is that I can use my traumas to actually discern certain qualities, whether they were negative or positive, in other people when I got older. Let me dissect this further. And this is where we're going to be talking about the trigger warning subject. So please just be mindful when watching this part. When I was younger, I have talked about this on my channel before, but I'm going to refresh your memory. I was essayed by a person close to me for a very long time. For many years, he was touching me inappropriately, and it was before I even had the ability to really know if this was right or wrong. When I finally got to the age where I had said to my mom, this is what's happening to me, please help, the person that had did this to me looked me in my face and cultivated a lie to make it seem like I was making this up. So we're getting to the lying part, okay? I had learned at a very young age, at the ripe age of 9 actually, that adults, people, anyone in life can lie with a straight face, make up a full lie, and garner sympathy or support or try to gain something or try to avoid something, and can lie so beautifully and eloquently that when I was that age, because I was so young, I almost was falling for it. I remember, when I had told my mom about what happened to me, she had approached this person and broke it down to them like, this is what my daughter said, and I'm essentially like done if this is true. And he was so like, oh, let me talk to her, I want to clear the air. And he had looked at me and been like, are you feeling okay? Did something that you watch on TV make you feel like this happened? Because that didn't happen. Where I'm going with this story is this: at a very young age, I learned that people can lie. People can lie. So we're going to get into that in a second, but I wanted to say using your trauma experiences as your superpower will actually help you so much in your womanly years, okay? You can either be the person who views it as a hindrance in your life and someone who cannot have anything good and will always experience negative experiences and always have a hard life, or you can view this terrible, awful experience that nobody is taking that away from you, but you can view it as, hey, I am able to discern certain things because this happened to me. So my superpower is I am pretty good at knowing when people are lying to me or when people are fake in some way, because I was in the grips of a person who was living a double life. You were this charismatic, well-rounded, hardworking man, but behind closed doors, you're a predator. You're a completely different person. So as an adult, I have to say, I almost feel like I can spot fake people, people who live double lives, people who do bad things, and it has allowed me to truly be able to feel protected by my own self. So find the qualities that you have built up in your trauma experience and use them for good. Use them for good. Now, I want to pivot into lying since we're pretty much touching on lying here. People will lie for no reason. Not only will they lie about themselves and their lives, but they will lie on you. They will lie to garner sympathy. They will lie for personal gain, for financial reasons, for literally anything. To land the girl, to land the job, they will lie. And it's very scary out here that people will lie. And with me knowing that, I just move a certain way through life, okay? I am the type of person who believes heavily in action, and I don't really believe words as much because, like I said, I am very aware that people just lie for no freaking reason. So I like to see the full picture. Allow yourself to sit back and see the full picture. Apply this tip to whatever it fits in your life. If it's dating, if it's friendships, if it's work related, if it's family related, use this tip to whatever feels the most resonating with you. For me personally, I use my discernment in lying in dating and in friendships, okay? I let people show me who they are. I sit back, I sit there, I let them do what they gotta do. Listen, I'm not always perfect. I'm not always gonna be able to tell certain things. I did kind of mention to you guys that I was dating a narcissist at one point. They are professional liars. They are professionals at this because it is a sickness at the end of the day. It is a disorder, so they are professionals at it. But I will say this, I believe that my trauma superpower of knowing when people are lying to me, I don't think I was fooled for long for a reason, where some people maybe could have been. So that's that on that. But I want you guys to understand that people will lie for no reason. It's scary. You have to understand it. And there are still good people out here. But I want you to just allow people to show you who they are. And when they do, what does everyone say to do? Believe them. Okay, I wrote this down because I think it's super important in today's world. Your obsession with people copying you is preventing you from creating more. So I actually got a DM from, I believe, a subscriber a while back, kind of accusing certain creators of copying my content and, trying to, I guess, get me to be angry. I actually am not angry when people copy me because if I feel like I am original, authentic, and I am myself, it's not able to be replicated, okay? You can have the recipe, you can have the sauce, it's not going to taste the same. Therefore, I don't care. I leave it up to God. All of my videos, even though the topics can be replicated, my experience through life can't. And I have noticed that everyone thinks that they're so original and so authentic, and that's okay. We all are allowed to think that we're a little original, a little authentic. It's cute, it's whatever. But I don't want you to allow it to stop you from creating more and being yourself more because you're afraid of people taking that from you, taking your magic, taking your power. They cannot. There is only one you for a reason. Please don't allow the obsession with somebody copying you or, doing something that is similar in spirit, that it's going to be received the same. It will not, okay? Everyone can do their thing. Granted, yes, there might be people who do copy you, who do pull inspiration from you, who do think that you are, someone to replicate. But therefore, like I said, there's only one me. So I don't care, and I want you guys to stop caring as much as well. If you hate being alone, get a dog. I wrote this down because I have noticed that there are people who really do struggle with being alone. And I made the joke about getting a dog because I think it has helped me a lot in my journey of being single. I've been single for 2 years. Almost 2 years in October. I am so in love with my life. I am so in love with my alone time. And I have fallen in love with being my own best friend. It has been so healing in spirit because when I was younger, I would go through things and the first thing I would do was bury myself in distraction, call my friends, make my mom listen to whatever I was going through, do other weird activities that I had to bury myself in to avoid the healing. And when I became, single and when I became a woman, a grown woman, I realized, no, sit with yourself. Sit with yourself, bitch. Sit with yourself. Figure it out. Do the shadow work. Find hobbies that are just solo between you and the thing that you're doing. Heal yourself. Bury yourself in activity that makes you feel good, that isn't distracting you, but it's helping you. And that was something that I did. So I made the joke about getting a dog because I feel like my dogs have helped me a lot in my journey. And you feel like you struggle with that alone time. Maybe you're afraid of breaking up with somebody because you don't want to be alone. You don't want to be by yourself. You don't want to sit with yourself. Find something healthy to put yourself into. Pouring into yourself will always be the best case scenario in life. And I think that what has helped me in this journey of pouring into myself and having my dogs and having my life by myself is I will never be anxiously attached in life ever again. I'm okay with being alone. That is something that no matter what happens to me in life, I don't feel this intense sense of trying to force things out of fear of having to sit with myself. And I feel like a lot of people do struggle with sitting with themselves and learning themselves and being their own best friend. Now's the time to start tapping into that more. And on top of that, it's okay to spend your weekends alone, and FOMO is a good thing. I think that people who have to go out all the time, they always have to find a way to do something. They can't sit still for a moment. You're escaping something. You're distracting yourself from something, and you're not focusing on the things that you need to focus on. A lot of the times, our dreams, goals, career path, whatever we're trying to achieve in life, because we all want something out of life, it takes time. It takes putting in that effort, that daily effort. And sometimes you're going to have to sit certain things out. Sometimes you're going to have to say, hey, I can't come this time, but maybe next time. I had a really busy day last week. I was doing filming a video. I had a sponsorship that I had to send over. I had a few consults, and one of my best friends, her and I, we have dinner every single week, and it's our thing. But I realized that I was up to my neck in things, and I had to say to her, hey, listen, I can't come out tonight, but let's reschedule for another day. Now, granted, I could have went out. I could have put my other things to the back burner, went out to dinner, and then, tried to go back to it when I got home, but I know myself. What I would have done was I wouldn't have gotten anything done. I would have went out to dinner. I would have probably had a drink, came home, wanted to go to bed because I had a drink and I'm tired. I know myself. Okay, I know myself. So because of that, I said, let me sit this out. Sometimes you have to spend your weekends alone. Sometimes you're going to have to say, I have to stay home. Sometimes you're going to have FOMO in order to really achieve greatness in life. Okay, I wish that was taught to me when I was younger. I wish somebody had told me when I was younger, you don't always need to go out. And granted, every time going out isn't always fun, okay? I don't always have a fun time every single time I go out. So because of that and because of that knowledge, I think that I have found a healthy balance in life, and balance is key, truly. Okay, this is big in friendships, and it's something that I didn't really have to teach myself because I've always known this, but it's for all of the girls who do need to actually learn this as a friend and as a woman. Read the room. If your friends are experiencing financial hardship, they can't do certain things, they have a lot on their plate, maybe they have children, maybe they are working 2 jobs, maybe you gotta give them grace and stop trying to get them to be rich like you or have as much as you or do as much as you. Like, sometimes they can't do it. A lot of the part about being a good friend is meeting people where they're at. If they are doing their highest and best, please just give them grace, because a lot of the times I hear, conversations about building, powerful friendships and aligning friendships, and I'm all about that. But sometimes I feel like it goes off course where somebody will say like, I want to have rich friends that can spend a bag like me and da-da-da. Like me, I do think it's important that your friends can afford certain things like dinner. Like, I'm not buying my friends dinner every time we go out. Like, I obviously would never do that. But I think it's important that you build friendships more based off of character and morality and how this person lives their life and how they can improve yours by just simply being in it. Okay? That is what's more important to me than if my friend can afford a Chanel bag or not. That is ass backwards thinking. And I want to just put that out there, that if you build friendships based off of status and money, they will be very surface friendships. They will be very surfacey. They will not be real. And then don't get mad when something, happens, when something goes awry. You have to build and cultivate friendships that are genuine and real and are coming from a place of love, respect, and understanding. Just read the room. I just think that it's important that you meet everyone where they're at. And if you feel like you really genuinely have nothing in common with this person anymore, then that's fine. But just give them grace and don't make them feel bad about the fact that they can't afford or do certain things that you can do. Now, I've talked about this in one of my most recent videos about being multifaceted and multi-talented, but I'm going to stress it in this video because it's so important. Something that I wish I had told my younger self, which was that I can wear many hats as a woman. Currently, I am, doing so many different things with my life. I'm tapping into different aspects of myself. I reached the age of 26. I feel different. I have to admit, like, this age was very pivotal for me. I don't even know why. It just happened where when I turned 26, I started becoming more reserved. I wanted to change my wardrobe a little bit. I wanted to dress a little bit more conservative, and I want to start living a different way. And this is genuine. It's authentic to my journey. I wasn't forced. I wasn't pushed. I wasn't encouraged. It just kind of went with my life. And I had actually spoken to my mother about this on the phone because I was telling her, I'm like, I just want to throw all my clothes out. Like, I don't feel like they vibe with who I am anymore. Like, I'm changing. I'm different, whatever. And she was like, it comes with age. That's just what happens. Like, you wake up one day and you're just a different person, and it's natural and it's a part of growing. And my point that I'm trying to make is allow yourself to transform, to reinvent, to rebrand, to pivot, to try on many hats. Whatever fits you, whatever fits your vibe, allow it. Welcome it. Don't stifle yourself out of fear that you're going to come off fake or that people are going to think it's not real and authentic. Like, that is not up for discussion. And that's not something that I talk about with other people, like my own life. Like, allow it to be effortless and allow it to be a part of your life. Be open to more things. And you become a more wiser and knowledgeable person when you expand your horizons in life, okay? I never watched sports. Ever. It bored me to sleep. And I just started watching tennis, and I'm like, who am I? Like, I'm enjoying it. It's different. It's kind of like when you were a kid and you didn't like the taste of grapefruit, but now as an adult you do. It's like that same thing. Or like cilantro, like that's a common thing that people hate as kids, but when they get older, they love it. That is how I want you to view your life. I want you to allow yourself to transform and change your mind. We are allowed to change our minds. As women, hello. I change my mind all the time and I don't care. I don't feel bad for it. There was a time where I would encourage women to go out and fuck whoever they want, and now I'm abstinent. I change my mind. My sentiment is different because I've experienced things. Sometimes you have to go through it to understand it. And my experiences have shaped and shifted my mind in this way. I try things. If I don't like them, I move on and I do something else. That is something that I want you guys to all welcome in your life. And something that I want to stress is you can always start over and change. You don't have to be stuck. You don't have to be stuck doing the same thing every day, all day, and never change. You have the ability and the choice to change. We all have choice power, okay? Allow yourself to change and grow and evolve and become a different woman if you want. Okay, this is a huge one. For no particular reason, somebody could just not like you, okay? It's confusing. I understand. As an adult, it's awkward, it's uncomfortable. Granted, I'm sure that if you've experienced some sort of bullying as a child, or, you experienced some sort of weirdness as a kid, then you already understand this. But as an adult, I have learned that people can just not like you for no particular reason at all, and it's okay. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I genuinely just say, cool, like, we're not, for everyone. And you have to allow people to feel that way. We do not like everyone either. I don't like everyone. I don't. So I allow people to not like me. Now, what I won't tolerate is you coming and imposing on my life. I won't tolerate that. I won't tolerate you coming over here and trying to be a part of my life and not like me. Now, that's a different story. But if you don't like me and you don't resonate with me, and it doesn't, how I speak, how I live, how I am, how I look doesn't jive with you, bye. I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. And you have to allow people to not like you. When you allow people the space to make a decision whether you're for them or not, you're just going to be in a different place in your life, more confident, more happy, just someone who genuinely just does not care. I genuinely don't care. The older I have gotten, the less I've cared about things like this. I used to be so angry. I'll never forget this girl that I went to high school with. Never had an issue with her. Never had an issue with this girl. And she fucking hated me. Like, for no reason. So much so that she would say really mean things to me in the hallway and just bully me and write terrible things about me on Twitter. I will never forget, she got on Twitter and was like, Haley, that ugly ass bitch with that big nose. I'm thinking, oh my God, I've never even had a conversation with this girl before. It happens, and it used to fucking ruin my entire life. Now, as an adult, it doesn't bother me at all. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Keep me out of it. Granted, people aren't as mean in that way that I just described. That's more of a high school behavior. But people still just won't like you, and it is what it is, and I don't care. And on that topic, for all of my content creators or people who, use the creative space to, promote their businesses or whatever and whatnot, reminder that Instagram is kind of like a high school cafeteria. It's giving Mean Girls from school. What I mean by this is people will watch you, lurk on your page, see everything you're doing, but will never give you support, will never say congrats, will never care, will never buy anything you're selling, and that's okay. I have learned to not care. I don't care if somebody supports me, likes what I'm doing, or is watching me. I actually don't. I'm like, oh, hey, fan. What's up, fan? It's weird. I get it. And it is. It's fucking weird. Why are you on me 24/7? You are literally on my body all the time, but you have nothing to say? It's so weird. And that's how Instagram, YouTube, and all the social spaces, it's mostly Instagram though, because you can see who's viewing your story and who isn't liking your photos and who isn't, responding to things that you're doing. You can see that more on Instagram, and it can feel a little discouraging when you're promoting yourself and putting yourself out there, but don't let it stop you. It is normal. I think people just either are curious. I'm going to give people the benefit of the doubt and say some people are just curious and nosy, and then the other people are jealous and obsessed. I said what I said. Speaking of jealousy kills, okay? Jealousy kills. Please remove yourself from anyone that you view is possibly jealous of you. You see way too many stories of girls hurting other girls because they're jealous of them. They hate them so much that they will kill them in plain sight because they want what they, have. They want their people could be jealous of you for any reason. Your parents, your money, how you look, the type of attention that you get, literally anything, okay? When you sense that somebody is jealous of you, remove yourself. It is not flattering when somebody is jealous of you. If you view that as, oh, I only want to be friends with girls who are uglier than me and less than me because it makes me look better, girl, you are setting yourself up. You saw what happened to Selena, babe. You saw what happened to Selena. These girls will smile in your face, but will low-key really fucking hate you. Be careful, okay? Be careful of jealous people. Dating is for the strong. If you are unhealed, please do not date. And I'm gonna give you a little testimony, a little story time, I guess. So I am a very healed person. When I date, I'm never devastated, if I'm being honest. I'm never devastated when things don't work out. If I find out he's lying, he's cheating, he's disrespectful, he's not who he says he is it disheartening? 100%. Am I devastated? No. The reason why I'm not devastated is because I am not attached to the outcome of this dynamic. You need to detach from the outcome. You have to stop being so obsessed with somebody to a degree that you feel like they are so perfect, they will never hurt you, they will never do anything to you, and then when you find out that they do, it ruins your whole life. It has wrecked your future. You never will trust a man again, and you're devastated. You're so hurt. You have to learn to detach from that. The whole part of dating is learning people, understanding people, seeing people for who they are. Majority of the time, you're going to encounter someone who is just not good. Okay, that's not to scare you from the experience. It's to teach you to be okay with the outcome. You have to completely detach from the outcome and allow yourself to go through the motions and allow yourself to see people through, build up your discernment. And I think that this is something that, you have to teach your younger self and be this version of yourself in your adult years, because when we're young, we will constantly make excuses for bad behavior, and we'll try so hard to make someone perfect in our lives because we've already invested time and effort. I don't care how much time, effort, or anything that I've invested in a person. If you have shown me who you are and I don't like it, I'm out. I'm not devastated. I'm not hurt. I pivot and I move on. And that is that on that. And you have to learn to be like that, because the art of pivoting and the art of being okay, no matter what, is the best thing ever. I remember seeing something on Twitter, or no, it wasn't on Twitter, it was on TikTok, of this guy talking about how Lori Harvey is the epitome of the perfect woman, because she is good when she's with somebody and she's good when she's not with somebody. She's never devastated and acting crazy. And speaking of acting crazy, something that you have to learn is when you're going through things in life, let's just say you're going through a breakup, a friendship breakup, a romantic breakup, a guy, pissed you off, he lied to you, he cheated on you, something happened in your life. People know that this is happening to you based off your constant dumping on social media. Learn to reel it in and be a little bit more stoic. I'm never going to tell people to not be emotional in some way. We have to mourn, we have to grieve, we have to experience that loss. But it is so funny to me when I'll be going on like people's stories and there will be like a quote being like, and if he wanted to, he would. And then the next quote is like, in my pretty girl era, ain't need no man. And it's like the constant weirdness of like, I know exactly what you're going through and I don't even have to know your life. I will never allow somebody to bring me so out of character that it's now bleeding into my social space. People that I don't know are seeing it. They're seeing me acting erratic and ridiculous, okay? No, and I have done it before. I have absolutely been the girl who goes through something and then does the post. At 26, at this ripe age, honey, you will never know what I'm going through. Not to say that I'm hiding my feelings. I am not. I am expressing them in healthy ways through therapy, through talking to my close friends and family, but I am not putting it out there on the internet and to other people. I hate people who you meet them for the first time and they're telling you their whole life story in the first 10 minutes and it's like, oh my God, you're like dumping on me. Like you have to learn to heal that and fix that. And you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that person to other people, and you don't want to be that person to yourself. It is painful when you reflect and you're like, damn, I was really out here looking crazy. I'm just trying to protect you from that. I definitely have more subjects to touch on, but this video was long again. So if you guys want a discernment series part 3, let me know down below and touch on anything that you want to touch on. I want to hear your guys' comments. I love when you guys write to me down there and I read every single freaking comment. So sound off down below. If you haven't already, give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. And I love you guys so much and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone. Mwah.